It's Little Satan!
Hey ladies, you looking to get reviewed?
And welcome to Little Satan's loot can of treasures or garbage. Alright guys, hope you guys are having a wonderful day and staying beautiful. And off to the review, guys. As you guys can see, it's girls only. As you guys know with the review, we normally only review figurines we still have in the package and haven't opened, or recently bought and haven't opened them or got them brand new. Whether that be like bought offhand or not, at least they're still in the package. That way they have all the required accessories and not too much damage besides from lack of concern from the companies and bending of limbs and whatnot. But off, as you guys can see right here, we actually have it where it's a girls only review because we only have female figurines out of this, which is actually amazing to have this many in this line. I mean, nowadays it doesn't seem like anything to have that many female figurines, but 10 years ago you would have been lucky to find any. McFarlane would have been some of the best designs, and those were mostly statues. But off onto the review of these guys. First one's up is Magic the Gathering. I believe it is the Lane Vase. Pretty amazing find. I think we picked her up for $4.99 at Ross, which wasn't much because I think everywhere was putting these actually on clearance. They're amazing figurines. I remember when they came out, they were like $20, $25. They were some of the more expensive. It was back before Marvel Legends had even reached that yet. They were still at like $18 or so. Beautiful figurine, a lot of details, terrible articulation, like the elbows you can't bend whatsoever. As hard as you try, it gets to the point where you feel like you're probably going to break the hand off or just break the arm out of its pivot, so there's just no reason, so you just leave in the position it is. They look like great statues. They're very realistic. The downside to her was they went so far into detail, they carved her tattoos in, which is, great if you like the figurine for what it is, but as a customizer, it's just her body. I have to fill it in with putty or hot glue or super glue and like baby powder almost, and just sand it off and fill in these gaps. It's carved in on her face, on her hands is carved in. Like every piece of skin has this tribal tattoo on it, and it's just carved in. I think I picked up 3 or 4 of her over the time of the series. Never picked them up at full price. All of them I picked up. They were all on clearance. Picked her up for the same reason every single time. It's actually all these cape pieces, all these extra, because it's all rubber. All of it's removable. Even her brawl, even though it's meant to look like armor, is actually removable. So we've cut those laces off and used it for different things. The body looks really weird without the brawl because there's actually no breast under there. It just encaves in on it. But even her headpiece is rubber. We've removed that for a crown, her horns before. Her hair, it deattaches so well right at the back of the head. The Magic the Gathering didn't put too much time into. I think they were mainly making statues, because she's a beautiful statue piece. She doesn't stand very well, which is weird because she has some of the guy feet. There's another guy character in there. It's a mage. He's in like green and white. Jace something, I think. And he has these exact same feet, so they just reuse these parts. And even her legs are a little weird. I mean, I know it's the character design, but like a Spawn design, one leg's different than the other. Neither side can be the same. Shout out to McFarlane. But like I said, detail is amazing on it. She didn't come with any accessories, so for $25 just getting her, that would really suck. And I really feel like all action figure lines that are based off something are directed mainly to the fans. That's fine, that makes sense. But also you want to sell it to new people. And the biggest downside, the nitpick to this figurine, besides the carving in there, but can't really complain about that because it was for the fans. That's as a customizer, more or less. My biggest nitpick on it was actually the understanding of the figurine, because when you get to the box, like, there's no detail on who she is. I mean, there's just her name right there, Lillian Vess. You have some great artwork of her name again. That's literally There's no information on her at all. And then, when you get the assortment of other characters in her series, they don't give any pictures. So when I picked up this line, some of them weren't easy to find at certain stores, like on the Walmart where they keep their cards at, and I think Vintage had a few of them. I can't really remember offhand. I found some at some collector stores, but it was later on. In the beginning of finding this, though, I found her and Jace very often. I kept wondering who these figurines were. So it's like I could Google it and find out, which was fun, but it's like if you're trying to sell this, it would just be nice to know what I'm looking for. But if you're a hardcore fan, I guess you shouldn't have that problem, and that's why I said I feel like that's what this was mainly devoted for. But there's no information on the character, no accessories at all, and from what I can guess of it, not being a major fan of it, I mean, she just seems like she's doing magic. She didn't even give it anything to put in her hands. I mean, her hands are open like she's ready to have a fireball or energy or anything. Would not have been hard to do it. I mean, I know they used a lot of plastic on making all her outfit, the designs, and just whatnot, so I see why they didn't add that extra accessory, been a waste of plastic and money for them. She does not stand well, like I said. I had to have her in that hunched over position, which really sucks you can't see her. I mean, she looks menacing, but you really don't get the details of her. She doesn't look like an elegant gypsy mage is what she's coming off of. But really good figurine. It's really not that bad, honestly. Especially the price. I mean, I got it for $5, but I would not pay $25 for her whatsoever. And articulation's terrible. I don't think I've used the body successfully for a character. We've used all the parts, the hair. I don't even think I've used the legs yet, which I'm going to now that I have so many of them, because now I have matching pairs, because like I have like 3 left legs and 3 right legs, and since each one comes with the opposite, I can just match them together and we have a pair. And I can carve it just right where you won't be able to tell. And they're almost just straight, so you really can't tell which one's right or left. So it was another advantage of picking that figurine up. But it was another thing that sucks, just having a figurine that doesn't have matching boots. But moving on to her, we're going to skip her because she's actually the better of the lot, so we're going to skip down to the second place, kind of. Sharon Carter's Marvel Legends from the Red Skull Build-A-Wave figurine. She's another one we actually got on clearance. Got her for $5 at Walmart. As you guys can see, I do not get all my figurines from Vintage. Get them from a variety of places, almost anywhere. It does not matter. But, not a fan of the all-white because I wasn't aware that Sharon Carter had an all-white shield suit until I saw it. Yeah, I'm a fan of the comics, but I wasn't aware that she was running around in all white suit. I just don't see it tactical whatsoever, but that's fine. Because I didn't have too much exposure to Sharon Carter besides the movies and like hear references in the comics. I didn't care too much to learn about her, so I just didn't pay attention, I guess. What's really cool is she came as the second female in the series, and the other female that came in the series is a complete different body. Like, this seems like a really unique cast for just her. Just one of the reasons I picked it up was just all the fine details to it. It sucks they didn't paint it. Everything's solid white on her. Every strap, every buckle, every piece is just solid white. Her limbs a little angled out and bent out, but that's just from packaging damage and whatnot. Her articulation is also almost as terrible as the Magic the Gathering, but not as bad, but almost. She's stiff. Not much paint detail. The shield icon and the belt and a little on the pistols, and then of course her head, but that's about it. It's just solid white from there on. Articulation, even in the legs, is a little difficult, even just like the Magic the Gathering. She's very too skinny almost, so it's hard to move her. You bend her every time you move her limbs. Most usable thing for her was, I needed the ponytail and just enough female body. The nitpick on it is the holsters, the pistols with, they're stuck in the holster. There's nothing there. It's almost at her hand, so I guess if she was doing some spy shit, she could just lay down and shoot from her holster. But you know me, guys, I don't think you should put a pistol. If it's in a holster, it should be removable. I hate that. It's terrible. I don't use it on any of my characters. I have several pistols that are just stuck in holsters that we just have lying around that we won't use. Great positions to get her in, but don't use those at all. The belt's something we wanted from her. Price was amazing on her, $5, but she was $20 regular. Would not buy for $20 just because I didn't care of the character and didn't need the body. I think I have 2 of these now, though. I got them both on clearance, different places, different prices. I think it was only like $7 for the other one and $5 for this one, so I didn't mind paying $10 just because I wanted the outfit. I try to buy duplicates of figurines just in case I'm going to use it for a character or use it for an army build. That way we can build 2 of the same characters and then have that as 2 soldiers, more or less, and we have them exact duplicates, unless we use molding, which we're just getting into molding and copying pieces. So it's easier to buy the same exact piece so we have it. So I have 2 of her, so we have duplicate female bodies to use that for a soldier. Her face is terrible. She's just stuck in this angry bitch face. No matter what way you look at her the whole time, like her face is just narrow. She's been doing part cocaine. Explains why she's so skinny and fucking angry. Look at that. She's constipated as fuck. She's angry. Angry Sharon Carter. The only accessory she comes with is her unique looking pistol. Alien laser pistol device. It's a unique looking pistol. I actually liked it because of the fact, you know, every piece doesn't really look like it belongs. Like this handle looks like it just belongs to something else. This piece right down here, so all belongs. You can take that off for any computer piece or engine to any other laser piece or device we build. And even that piece looks like doesn't belong. So it's like this pistol's just waiting to get chopped up. And I've used the other one we had. I can't remember what we used it for, but we chopped it up to use it for random bits. And it reminds me of a scrap pistol. Or it looks like a customizer put it together. Like they just threw some things together and like, oh, yep, that's what a laser pistol would look like. It's very odd. That's what she comes with, but yet no holster for it. She's supposed to hold it in the whole time, but has 2 regular, normal Glocks, normal pistols just in her holsters. But yet she has this weird alien pistol and a punching fist and nowhere to put it, just to hold on to it. But not a bad figurine. I love that they did fill in the high heels. If you guys remember from one of my early reviews, we complained that if you're going to give figurines high heels, maybe should have just made them like wedges. They would be easier to stand, but they gave her such tiny little baby feet that she does not stand very easy. Oh, I'm so happy we got that. That was in one try. Yes. But not a bad figurine, especially for the price. Just went to bought it for regular price. Now, moving on to our last figurine. The one is the best of the series, and we are the happiest with getting fewest little nitpicks on it. Oh, wait, right before we do, I wanted to jump back to our Sharon Carter, her series. She had a really good series. It was wide lineup of figurines. I believe we bought 2 of the Captain Americas merely for his accessories. I have her. Didn't have her still in packages, where she's not involved in this review. 2 of her. Never picked up Whirlwind. I wanted to because it was Saw Blaze. I just never got the chance to. And saw no reason for Copperhead to be in the series whatsoever. I think that's his name. It doesn't say on here. It's what sucks. They're like, there's Captain America and these 2 accountants, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., so that's all they are. Forces of Evil, and then Mercenaries of Mayhem. And I picked up 2 of him just purely. He had an ammunition belt. He had like a pistol, shotgun, knife. He had a shit ton of accessories. I wanted to pick up the Taskmaster, but we just never got a chance to. I may soon, but he's still expensive as shit on Amazon. I don't want to waste the money on him, but we may end up doing it. But not too many nitpicks on the Sharon Carter, just besides the overall figurine herself, her articulation, and the fact of the pistol holsters. But as I said, moving on to our Spider-Woman. I love this figurine because they did really good. Well, one, I was really happy that none of the limbs are actually messed up. Like, her arms are straight, her knees are actually really straight and solid. Looks like the body from a She-Hulk from earlier on. You can just tell by the thicker thighs, the more Lindsay Lohan ass, whatchamacallit, I mean Hilary Duff. I fucked that. I always fuck their names up. I don't know why, but more of the Hilary Duff arch. Yes. And they really accomplished well from here. If you guys have been a Marvel Legends fan, you guys would know they have failed at, oh god, Invisible Woman. So many times they failed at. I guess the only nitpick with her is her arm articulation is really weird, and the fact they gave her no extra hands. But her sculpt's not bad, especially on the head. The body's just, just painted over. It's just average Marvel Legends body. They have so many different female molds. It's just one of the better ones. I think it's more used for She-Hulk or the more muscular females. But the head, she's very beautiful. Miranda Crosscross almost looking. Hair is a little more solid. Going to be harder to get off than Magic the Gathering. It's more of a softer rubber. This is very hard to get for more of a sleek look than one more of a solid mold. And it paid off because it looks really good. I mean, if I was a fan of Spider-Woman, I would definitely put this one on my shelf just because she looks really good. The sculpt is great on her. Really got some Doctor Strange hands going on. I think that's because she's supposed to be throwing off pheromones or I think she does some kind of energy spider attack. I know from her hands. I'm not really sure. I know she does have pheromones that come off. I just can't remember if she can charge it off, and maybe that's why her hands are like that. I would say spider web, but I don't know if she swings. I can't remember if she swings on spider web. Actually, I just don't care about Spider Woman. She's such an annoying character. Even the costume looks annoying. But the major nitpick was she came with these spiderweb under her arms. Very reminiscent of how Spider-Man has his webbing on his arm from the new movie. And just old school Spider-Man always had like little glider webs, but the pieces almost as if it was chewed up, which really sucks because, like I said, she came out packaged, brand new, and this piece doesn't fit in the arm slot whatsoever. I tried several times before I recorded the video, and it just would not go in there. She's supposed to have two of them, almost, right there. So it's like she has a little glider web going on. As a customizer, you could put those permanently on there, but I'm not using it for other stuff, tearing her apart, just like the other ones. So these I probably don't really have any use for. We may narrow them out. We can use them like their actual weapon. I guess it could be a spider web somewhere, but it's just too solid. And even if I repaint it, I just don't like the pattern of it. But we may use it as a weapon, or fins on a fish-like creature, or just a monster we may end up having. We may use it as even dragon fins. You can see that around someone's head right there. Almost as, there you go, it's almost like a dinosaur. So, I can see that. And she came with these tinier ones to go under her arms. That way when her arms collapse, she still has them under there. These also, like, they're not chewed up, but they're almost too big. They don't fit just right in there. But it's supposed to be more of a draped one. Looks more like a falling curtain, kind of. So, not sure what we'll use those for. We'll find something, or they'll just sit in a box and be saved for one day. She came with many actual accessories because she's part of the Build-A-Figure line of Thanos. So I'm a big fan of this bath because I love the detail on the Thanos arm. I think I used both of the other Thanos arms I have. I bought two. I think I have. I have two of the females because there's in this series there's Spider-Woman and Hellcat, and I have two Hellcats, and I have both the Thanos arms, and I made them work. But the detail of it, I used it for my Windshire, my final form, beast form of Windshire from the Cool Inflicted series. So it's like I love the detail on it. Because the arm we used it for is supposed to be almost like an armored beast werewolf. Even has claws coming out here, so it's very detailed. And the gauntlet right here is removable, which we used for our Oa, which is more like a lion god. And then they came with the Thanos head. This is my second Thanos head. So I think Hellcat and her came with the same exact accessories. So it's like you get. I don't think I have two Spider-Women, so I'm pretty sure Hellcat came with the same exact accessories because it's my second Thanos head or my third. And really not much to use on there. We may trim off the eyebrow right there, use it as a crown piece. It'd just be a solid mask or a helmet piece. His chin's not usable. Face just too recognizable as Thanos. I don't know what I'd want to do with that. Maybe one day use it as a roughed up chin, or just we may carve his smile completely out. Just take that smile out and use it. The eyes and nose are too deep in there to get out like I would want, but when we carve that off, then maybe definitely I could just put a blade under there and chunk them out. I mean, some figurines I've literally said I was like, I want the nose of that figurine on this figurine, so I've removed the nose, and I've removed ears, and I've built complete solid original faces for some of my characters. So it's like, you never know what we may use. I just don't think Thanos' face is going to get used. But she came with plenty of pieces in her set. Oh wait, speaking of which, I forgot Sharon Carter did come with something. She came with the Onslaught leg, which I have two. I have one other Sharon Carter, and I have the other female that was in that set. So I have three of these legs, and we've used them for our Anubis warriors, which was also a really good buy just because all the detailed armor on it. I love the boots and the knee pad right there. As you can see, it's hollow, so we've been able to completely trim this leg out. We used the boot, and we replaced the foot right here, and use the cap, I guess is what I meant right there. Remember, these have diamonds on it, and I can't remember what else we did to it. But oh yeah, we had more of a beast-looking foot coming out of here. But we love this leg just because of all the armor detail on it. So I forgot she did come with a piece, which is way bigger than her. body. I forgot she was in that Onslaught series, but Spider-Woman still beat her out on accessories, which was a little odd in my opinion because of the series that Spider-Woman came in. I mean, it's supposed to build Thanos, which is really weird because Thanos has not, and it's cinematic version of Thanos, which is Marvel once again trying to just yank your money from you. Either they're hinting that way down the line they're not going to make a Thanos, be like, well, you already had Thanos, but we know that's not true. Marvel's always going to try to get their money, so they're going to build another cinematic Thanos. So this is almost like cinematic concept Thanos. Like, that's what he could look like or should look like, guys. It's like, okay, so whatever. I don't know why that was the Build-A-Figure series. And the figurines you got in it kind of makes sense, but it's weird because, like, you get Iron Man from the movies, which is just a repaint of all the Iron Mans they're using for the cinematic line right now. You get Hulk, which I did buy from this. I either bought him from, no, I bought him from Age of Ultron series, because the only difference between him and the Age of Ultron series was his pants are different and there's a red stripe down it. But I did not buy this Hulk. I bought that Hulk. And then this Captain America is terrible because it's the cinematic Captain America, and he has fist hands, but they gave him tiny baby fist hands. So they just look very misproportioned to his body. When you cut him off, even his lower forearms are just so narrow in. It looks odd. I do know I had bought one of them, but that was it. It was mainly for the shield and just for an armored body because his torso wasn't that bad. But those three kind of make sense because it's for the cinematic line. But then you get to Batroc. It doesn't say Batroc the Leaper, but that's Batroc the Leaper. And no one would know who the hell that is, except for if you were seeing Winter Soldier Captain America, you would remember that he fought Batroc, but didn't look like that. He was more of a realistic, just a German or Russian soldier, I think, or something. Soviet, some kind of Soviet soldier that fought him and is just really good at leaping, and the Captain America beat him in like less than 5 minutes. But they threw him in here in a comic costume, I guess as a reference to those two. And then the women make no sense. They threw Hellcat in, which was a terrible figurine. I have two Hellcats mainly because all I could find was her. She was on clearance, and I wanted the legs. But she's terrible. Her whole body's anorexic. They tried giving her a swivel up and down for her arms because she comes with a whip. It's terrible. It's terrible. Both of them are terrible. She's so anorexic. I mean, I know I'm comparing these two together, which is really good that in a line they gave two complete different female bodies. It doesn't feel like they were just like, okay, well, put her head on this body and boom, we painted their body that shit. And they do that a lot. They gave two complete different builds, two completely different female, entire proportions are different, but she's so anorexic. It's almost like if you bought these two together, you'd be comparing to like, oh, look, this is where Marvel was 5 years ago, and that's giving them credits. And this is where they're at now. It's almost a comparison. So it really sucked. Her face is so Batgirl or Batman-like. You can just trim the ears off and use it. It's just a basic mask. And then her hair has been really usable. It's really a unique pattern, though. That's the coolest concept of it. And then I like to have her in a belt because we've added those ribbon ties just to different figurines, like to tie off their items or put it on weapons, or like put it in ribbons at the end of it. Just have a cloth coming down like it's coming down from the handle, almost like old school samurai katanas. But her figurine was just terrible proportions, just terrible body. But it makes no sense on this lineup at all. I mean, I'm not really sure what I would finish putting out in this exact lineup because I'm not even sure why they did this. It was more or less just they repainted them. I mean, because that's the same Captain America they've been using for Winter Soldier and his movie, and when his movie came out, and they just more or less repainted it. Same with the repainting of Hulk, and same with the repainting of the Iron Man they've been using for the Cinematics. So, and then you just get these three last figurines. The only two good ones is her. I don't think he came with anything but his accessory piece, so you just get Batroc. It's like his head's a unique cast. That mustache would have been cool, but not worth the money. So, it's a very weird lineup on that, guys. With that, though, guys, that's our review. That's Lil Satan's loot can of treasures or garbage. We would rate this definitely 1 pentaquarter out of 5. Just because purely it's used for mainly scrap pieces. I mean, my rating system on stuff is always so low because I don't only I mean, most figurines, like, to get a high rating system is just the articulation and the ability out of them. And these ones do not have a lot of articulation besides Spider-Woman. She's the only one I could guarantee would get used as a solid figurine body. But Marvel Legends has come a long way. It's weird to think that these two are in a series apart, and it's so nitpicky. It's hard to say because it's like I want to say like she's not a very good body, and then neither is Hellcat. But then I also want to be appreciative because of the fact Marvel's come so far that they have 3 distinct different type of body cast, body molds, or an articulation for these females where you can say, well, that one's not very good and that one's not very good, and which is really amazing because all lines are like that now. DC's the same way. There's several Harley Quinns I can look at and just complain that this body mold's wrong and this body mold's wrong, but it's really nice that they have several different ones. They're not just still popping heads off females and just putting them on each other. I mean, they're kind of still doing that with the guy bodies, which sucks. You know, girls don't even think about that. It's like the female figurines have complete original molds to make them, and even they don't use the molds. They make different molds for different females, but yet the guy bodies, you know, you have a distinct, oh, they use the Bucky body for this. I remember even when Bucky's Winter Soldier body came out, 2 series later, they used Hawkeye's, Bucky's body to make Hawkeye. They even changed the arm. They left him with a robot arm and literally just painted it purple. And you're supposed to pretend that's his quiver arm. But yet, when you get down to the hand, his hand was still covered as Terminator-like. It was still metal. Like, you could literally put them on each other, and they were the same exact bodies, just different details in the head. And it's to save money, but that was a little ridiculous. That was literally just a repaint. So, it's just a little funny, and it's nitpicking on the female bodies. But still, guys, that's Little Satan's Loot Can Treasures of Garbage. Hope you guys enjoyed the review. Keep an eye out for any more reviews this week and our showcase series coming out for figurines we've made. And I believe we have a video coming up of what bodies we prefer, because this is a review of figurines we buy, and then just that review of more videos to let you guys know exactly what we look for when we're getting figurines and the body styles we use and what we end up using, like what companies we use what figurines for, like what actually makes a body and what actually becomes pieces. Because as I said here, you know, these two, she may never even get used. She'll probably get used as a body, but mainly her torso and lower legs. The arms and upper legs aren't really going to be useful at all, neither her head. She's the one that's got the most likely of being used, and that's because she's a really good articulated base body that we can just build on from. We can add so many limbs just from that and still build off a solid body. So keep an eye out for those review, guys, and more on the Cool and Conflicted. So hope you guys are having a wonderful day and staying beautiful honestly.